Yo, what up with it? What up with it? What up with it? What's going on? Everybody was cracking. What is going on? It is Friday. We normally do this on a Saturday, man, but my guy couldn't make it today, man. It's all good. I'm gonna hold it down, man, for you, man. Why, you know what I'm saying? While you handling whatever you got to handle. I pray that everything is all right with you and everything is straight at the, you know what I mean, that you got to handle, bro. But I'm going to hold it down for the day because it's on. I got to keep it going, bro. You already know what time it is out here, man. I've been seeing things. So there's been a lot going on, man. So as y'all see, man, we had a lot. We had a little loaded lineup for y'all today, man. We got some topics. We're gonna talk a little bit about an NBA playoffs, some games or whatever, and then we're gonna get up into the thing I like the most. I'm gonna surprise y'all with that, but y'all already know what's been going on today. It's no secret. It's no secret what's been going on today. We already know it. You dig? Yeah. And all that good stuff, man. Shout out to the sponsors and all that. JE Line, top notch, man. I'll go and check them out, man, for your beer products and everything. What's up? What's going on? South Coast Kane in the building. Yes, sir. I'm early, man. Yes, sir. I'm early today because I figure I'm gonna take a nice little evening walk. We don't get that nice Florida weather where at night it's just perfect. We don't really get that. You know, it get a little muggy down there. I think I was in Orlando, but we don't get that. So I'm gonna take a nice little evening walk with the fam. Go walk my micro. I got a little micro. You know, go walk him with the wife and the kids. Go get some ice cream. You know, take a little evening walk. So I figured I'd jump on a little early. You dig? That's all. But man. Shaq couldn't make it today, so I'm gonna hold it down. You know, man, we got it. We got to keep it rolling, and hopefully, if I can't make it, he can handle that. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully, y'all can handle it because I want you on there too, man. I definitely want you up on here, man. I definitely want you up on here. But with this being said, man, I gotta man look at this, man. Got some things to talk about. Let's talk about it. The T Wolves taking out the Nuggets. Now, I'm gonna keep everything a little short. This is not gonna be a long show. I'm gonna try to keep I normally go on rambles, but I'm gonna try to, spend at least 4 to 5 minutes on each topic and then bang, bang, and bang them out. He said he on daddy duty. Hey, it be like that, man. Hey, shout out to him, man. Shout out to him on doing that, bruh. For real, for real. Um, shoot, like I could just, we could do it like this. You got some things that you want to say, South Coast? Do you? Be bold enough? I'll throw it up in there for y'all, man. You know, I'm always kicking it with y'all anyway. You know what I mean? But so can't nobody say it ain't never in there because people always say it's in there. So and all of that. Yes, sir. But look, the T Wolves taking out the Nuggets. I was surprised to be honest. I'm not going because as you can see, I picked the Nuggets, but it was hard for me to go with the Nuggets. It really was seeing how the Timberwolves was playing. I had doubts about Rudy Gobert, and to my knowledge, from what I learned and what I've seen, they took Rudy Gobert out. Now, a lot of people was totally against that move of taking Rudy Gobert out and putting Nas Reed in there, and he was the Joker's kryptonite. He really was. He was Batman to him, I guess, because he held it down. The Joker couldn't score, and they took him out. But I also had another bold statement saying that whoever won out of this game was going to win the NBA title. And I still stay strong about that. I still think the West got the best teams in the NBA right now. And the only reason why I say that with the Celtics, they got at the right age, like they're in their prime, couple more years into it, you know what I mean? Right at the beginning of it. And they got the experience of playoffs, but at the same time, like they just don't stay consistent. Now they look good with these first two games with Indiana, and I'm gonna talk about that a little bit, but I don't know if they're going to sustain that throughout the whole thing. And I still think that the Pacers can take them into game 7. I still stand strong by that. Now, if I eat crow, I'll eat crow. I'll come on here and I'll say, look, I was wrong on my take. It is what it is. We don't get it right all the time out here, no matter what. But yeah, I was surprised by this. I really was. I was taken back, but they did what they do. And now Anthony Edwards, Ant Man, he got to step up. He has to step up, man, and play the game. But look, in this game was so huge by the media and all the hype around it and how Joker was supposed to be the best. And we came in here and we gave our little, it was more or less with Shaq and him, but I still gave the comparison of Shaq and him. And I know y'all seen that the last time that was up here. And look, I didn't think. Look, I thought he was gonna do it. I honestly thought they was gonna pull it off. So look, I eat crow here. I really ain't got no room to talk about this game to keep it 100 with y'all out there, you know but they still gonna come out the West. The winner is, and I'm telling y'all that right now. The winner, I believe that strongly. The winner's coming out of the West. Now, this is the game I really wanted to talk about myself: the Mavericks and the Timberwolves, and for the reason of being because I picked up the phone. I talked to my dad. I called him. I said, "What's up, Dad? How you doing? Checking up on him. How you doing or whatever." And we got to talking about the game a little bit. Now, this is gonna blow y'all off. Oh, y'all gonna be like, you ain't talking about the game, but I am talking about the game. Did y'all peek the shoes that Kyrie Irving was wearing? He was beating on them in some moccasins. Like, come on. Did y'all see the shoes that Kyrie was wearing? They had, oh, come on, man. They had tassels on them and everything. Now, that goes to speak to the heritage. Like he was really coming in that game with a statement to make. He was saying something. Kyrie came in that game. He was saying something with his game without saying something. There was a deeper meaning to that game to Kyrie Irving than what the public really knows at large. Okay. Um some people, I'm not sure if y'all ever heard about the Hebrew Israelites or whatever. Like a lot of people, really don't go that way because in religion, because most of them don't believe in, letting Caucasians in, just to be honest. I'm just being honest, right? I keep it real around here. This is what I do, right? But there is some out there that believe that we're just all brothers, that we all come from seven tribes, okay? 12, I'm sorry, and we all brothers. We all got the same bloodline and so forth and so on. And those congregations are usually shunned to the side. And there's a real deeper meaning, but they can't allow themselves to put out the information upon YouTube and so forth and so on. So this is why you really got to go out and seek it out and really learn about it. But see, Kyrie knows about this. He made some statements. They made him go ahead and apologize for things or whatever. But by him wearing the shoes that he was wearing, people saying Kyrie looked like another animal. Well, that's why. And that's when I had to come up and I had to bring that up because to let people know about that, because not a lot of people's going to talk about that because it has to do with something with religion. But y'all know me, I keep it real and different, unorthodox, and I peep that. And when I seen that and we talked about that a little bit, I said, I got to bring that up on the show and I got to let people know that's why y'all seen a whole nother beast out of Kyrie, because he was playing for more than basketball in that game. That's why y'all seen him go off like that. Now, to say that that game was very exciting, the game is coming on at 8:30 in game two. I still think the Timberwolves is going to take this series. I really do, because look, look, Rudy Gobert struggled with Joker and Embiid, but I think that he can cover any other big that right now in the playoffs. I don't think that there's another big as aggressive as Rudy Gobert. And I must say that Luka Doncic is the man, right? But when you bodying him up and you playing physical with Luka, Luka seems to go docile, if you will, if that's the right word to use. Like he seems to, his game is different. He gets to complaining, you start getting into his head, and that's easy to do. Now, I think that that's what they should do with Luka, is get a little physical. Now, Rudy, on the other hand, he's a big man. He is a foreign player from overseas, but look, I don't think that that really rocks with Rudy. But I do think that you can get in Luka Doncic's head and play like that. And if they're putting all that pressure on Kyrie to win the game, I don't think that Kyrie's going to drop 60 on Ant-Man and company and Cat and win the game. I don't think it's gonna go down like that. But I still got the Timberwolves winning tonight. So, but we'll see. It's gonna be a very exciting game at 8:30, man. Y'all make sure that y'all there to check that game out, man. For real, for real. All right. Now, moving on to another subject we got going on. I'm trying to keep myself on a time slot. Now, thoughts on Caitlin Clark. I want to see what Shad had to say about this. I really do. I wish he was here with me so I could hear what he has to say about this whole thing with Caitlin Clark. But look, I must say this about Caitlin Clark. I like Caitlin Clark. And I'm gonna keep it funky on this show. I'm keeping it funky. I'm gonna keep it all the way real. Like that's what we do here. This is the fans' point of view. I keep it real. I don't want to start off something in a bad way. I want to be able to keep my First Amendment right to speak how I feel on everything. Now, the reason why Caitlin Clark is so popular in the WNBA, and this is just my opinion and my thoughts, is because she's not gay. Excuse me. Now, there's nothing wrong with being gay. I mean, if that's what you do, that's what you do. But by her being a straight woman and feeling like a woman, looking like a woman, that attracts men to watch. Why do you think men watch women's like games? You know what I mean? Like other games where there's not so, and I'm just keeping it real with y'all. I'm just keeping it real. This is what it is. She's a woman. Angel Reese is a woman that's into men. Men like that. We don't like to see like you could be who you are, but why you gotta look like a dude doing it? And look, that's the only thing I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? And men like that. Now, if you're in the business of attraction, also, that's gonna help the viewership go up. They should be happy about that. Now, everybody knocking her, and on the other hand, they all knocking her for the league being so much people that there's jealousy there on the side. There is, and I get it, man. I understand why that could be, and envy and stuff. And I think by them admitting that, they're not saying that, but they are saying that in such a way but they're getting private jets now, commercials, they're getting all kinds of stuff because of this polarizing figure here on your screen. Be happy about that. Be happy and go along with it. Use it for everything that there is. Any light that's being shined on the WNBA, no matter how it is and whatever it is, use that to your potential. Use that to its potential. Like how they say when you're in like entertainment or whatever, all press is good press, whether it's negative or positive. Well, take that and use that. I believe more people watch my channel now because I got blasted on X. Like it is what it is. It helped me up. I lost a lot of people watching. A lot of friends on X or whatever. A lot of people went out, but then a whole lot more people came in. So it works like that. And I can tell you by firsthand, like when you're in this entertainment content, whatever, anything that has to do with entertainment, looking on the screen, watching somebody talk or play a game or whatever it may be, all press is good press. And that's all I have to say about Caitlin Clark. Like, I don't understand why it's so much of a big deal and why people want to take it and say, now, the one thing I don't agree with is people talking about, oh, well, don't play defense on her and all that. That's down. That's just stupid. She don't want that. Like, play me hard, play me up hard. But the Fever are just so trash. Like, they're definitely in a rebuild mode, but they still selling out tickets. Like, that's amazing. Like, I don't get why people are in an uproar over that. I don't think that they should be, but that's life. But also about more about I really want to touch on the sexual part of it and things like that. More men watch the WNBA than women do, and it seems like there's a bunch of women that have something to say about Caitlin Clark, but yet they don't watch the WNBA. So I must say this to women that has something to say and don't watch the WNBA. Support women, everything. Support it. If it's on there and if it's women, support it. Even if you're not watching it, turn it on. Just have it on one of your TVs and walk away. You don't have to actually watch it, but support it. Whatever you need to do to show your support for it, do that. And then your opinion may matter more than you just talking about something that they have no idea about. Like that's just how I feel about that. Um Man, I really can't stand that. It gets on my nerves. And I've seen a lot of people have a lot of things to say about this Caitlin Clark situation. And I'm like, I don't get it. Yeah, there. The sport is relevant right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's just be honest, it's relevant. Caitlin Clark has made the WNBA relevant. Like, so, I mean, and there's others that done that, but not like this on this level. So just rock with it. And y'all just stay with me, man, because we about to get into some other topics too, man. I spent too much time talking about Caitlin Clark. That's because I had to drop a little bomb. I had to be real, if you will. I got the skill to pay the bills, baby. Now let me keep now. This the game I want to talk about this. The Boston Celtics are amazing. Drew Holiday was an absolute steal for them. I must say, absolute steal. Putting them on that team, their weak spot is their bigs. Their bigs is their weak spot. Why don't Halliburton? I know Nimrod and them gonna shoot. I know he gonna shoot. But Miles Turner and Siakam keep continuing on beating them up in the paint. And go at old ass Al Horford. And why ain't Siakam guarding Jason Tatum? Like, and then he pulls Siakam out. Like, what was he thinking? Like, I mean, I guess you could say it was towards the end of the game, but 9 minutes, like, come on, man. And they were coming back, and then they were, you know what I mean? So it was like a back and forth thing in that game, but still, like, you don't pull out Siakam, like, you don't do that. And I'm not gonna sit there and say that this is a team that you could be physical with, but I do believe like Miles Turner gotta not look for that jumper so much. We know you could shoot the three, but you go in the paint on them, man. Like how they did y'all. And then use the outside, then use your shooters. McConnell, he hasn't really been shooting good throughout the playoffs. I mean, this game, the last game he played with this against the Celtics, he shot decently, played a little bit better than what he's normally been playing in the playoffs. So he's bringing it. They are going back home. I made a bold statement. I can't retract from that. I got to stand on business. I said that the Indiana Pacers can take the Boston Celtics to 7, and I believe that they still can do that, and they will do that. I stand strong on that. They got the team to do it. They're young and experienced. They seen what the Celtics can do, and I believe honestly that they seen the Celtics at their best. The Celtics be playing around with their talent. Now, obviously, it's easy to say if the Celtics win the next game, the series is over, obviously, because it'd be 3-0. They'll be up 3-0. But if they come out and they do perform and how they play next game is going to tell us, or is this team running out of gas or what? Because the Pacers, they could keep going. They're a little bit younger. I mean, Siakam's on he's teetering on the older side. Miles Turner, he's in his, you know what I mean? But the other guys in company, Nimrod, McConnell, Halliburton, they got us. They gonna step up. I think Halliburton's gonna come back. He can't miss this game. It's too important. Them being down 2-0 back home in Indiana, the little soreness he got going on. I'll throw you a little 40, $60 to go to a little Asian massage, bro. You need to let somebody rub that out real quick. Matter of fact, you could call Dion, the chick that be rubbing Dion's toes, bro. She'll hook you up. She be rubbing his nubs and he be feeling fire. He be like, ooh, wait. Straight up though. Hey, yo, let me stop playing, man. Yo, low, man. I know y'all seen the house versus that NCAA. Now, y'all know this is my thing, and this is what I've been specializing in lately. This is what I've really been on. And I've been paying attention to this more than a lot of other people have been. And the reason being is because obviously I talk about the contracts, but I'm not here to talk about contracts today. I just want to just let y'all know that it's a good thing that, and I'm going off a little bit off the reference off the CBS Sports article of the House versus NCAA. All right. So obviously they won, they settled, and with some things, some things majorly, right? I know y'all been seeing a lot of things online talking about how this may affect the stay with your team because this is going to affect things. No, it's not. They're never going to stop the collectives. They're never going to stop the collectives from doing anything. And this is what I meant by the old OG. So say me, I don't know, me, Shad, South Coast Kane, Cuban Dumas, and a couple others decided to form a collective, and we got the money to do so. And we say we want to get this guy for the Hurricanes. There's nothing they can do to stop us from from getting a legal document, binding agreement between us and that player to make sure he's playing for the Hurricanes. That's been going on forever in every major city that has sports, and they'll never stop that. Now, what they should have did, and what people are not talking about, and this is the only time I'm going to mention contracts, is that the NCAA could not, they didn't have to admit that they've been paying players for their talent, but they never brought that up because they would have to admit, without admitting that they've been paying players for their talent, and mention and get straight to the meat and potatoes, which is collective bargaining and contracts. Pretty much in a nutshell, just simply saying model the NFL model, period. Let's put the NFL model in now. They're just dragging it so slowly, ever so slowly, to get to that point. And that is giving the NCAA room to come in to be able to, because they're the foundation, and and that's just giving them room to come to formulate a plan and getting some jargon, if you will, to be able to fit in that equation somehow. And that's why you heard me say before, if y'all been watching me, about this universities and schools need to get ahead of this before the NCAA came in, and it's too late for that now because they got them right where they want them, and it never was going to happen. I don't think so because they've been around so long. But if the schools and universities would have got on top of this and done this the right way, then the NCAA wouldn't have been there. But I'm about to get into the little article. Just if y'all didn't too, I'm just breaking it down. This ain't verbatim. You can check it out yourself, CBS Sports, whatever. I referenced it. I didn't, go word for word on it. But like, so it was $22.8 billion in NIL back pay for former athletes in the NCAA. But the NCAA is responsible for 40% of the settlement, right? Of the settlement money, which is around $1.1 billion to pay out, and that's coming from the reserves and budget cuts. We'll get into that here in a minute. Now, much of the burden is going to fall on the member universities. The power conference schools are to contribute roughly 24% of the bill. The poor schools, if you will, some of them that gotta, they gotta do what they need to do or whatever to make ends meet, however you want to put that. They're on the hook for 36% of the settlement, which ain't fair in a way, because but when you think about it, a lot of other guys that really went to some of the poor schools, a lot of talent come out of there, the NFL, and guys that were big names and made those little schools, or the let's say the poor schools, just to simply put it, some money off television, if you will. They had stars. All right. So that's why 36% is them was on it. But the NCAA got off pretty easily. And I think that wasn't fair, but because but there was other schools pushing back. Let's say the bigger schools, Texas, Florida, Georgia. There was a lot of schools that was pushing back on paying players, so and giving them some money. And this was back when what was the guy's name again? I can't remember. Mark Emmert was the president of the NCAA. He tried to fix that, but man, listen, it's a lot going on with this. Now there's at the athletic departments are is going to have budget cuts because of the NCAA. They're decreasing the distributing and the revenue sharing, and that pretty much now makes the athletic departments acting GMs. People are going to lose jobs because when you get to thinking about big schools like y'all beloved Hurricanes, Ohio State, Georgia, Bama's, big schools, Texas, some of those schools are holding like they have like 139 athletic department employees. So, but now that's just going to change. Of course, a lot of those are going to be cut down because now they have to pay players through revenue sharing, right? But the roles are just going to change. Like how I was saying yesterday, you need analysts now, financial advisors in those departments, agents, of that sort, etc. Okay. Not verbatim of what I'm saying, but I get the gist of what I'm talking about, right? And if you don't, you just let me know down in the comments what you think, and I'll get to that. All right. Oh, my man South Coast Kane is on the table. What's up, bro? What's up? Hold on, let me get you. I didn't even know you was backstage. I was on the slide the whole time, Kane. I was on there. You go, you up here.
What's up, dude?
What's going on, man?
And I was just patiently waiting. I mean, I know I'm not as pretty as Shad, but I finally get a chance to make the big time, bro. I went from, since you got that Monarchs hat on, I went from single A to triple A just by being here.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, man,
I've been waiting to get you up on here, man. I've been
waiting to get on, bro. I mean, with my work schedule and I've been feeling so bad, bro, because I enjoy what you're doing, bro, and I like what you say, and you're good to my man Shad, and you always take time to come and check out my stuff, and
yeah.
I didn't want you to think that I was.
Nah.
Let's see. What's the cool kids say? Throw shade or whatever the heck they say. But
nah, bro. Man, I don't think that. I don't be thinking that.
I know. So what's good, bro? Talk to me.
Hey, man, look, everything. Everything good, man. Right now you see they got the house settlement came in with the NCAA. You seen that came in. Now I believe there's going to be a bunch of budget cuts and all that. Like the budget cut for the athletic departments. That means that they're not going to be upgrading the weight rooms as frequent as they are.
Nope.
No more upgrading cryo chambers or whatever else they got, the amenities they have on there. But I have questions like, are they going to raise the concessions, the parking, and everything else for us?
Well, not only that, but how are your Akrons, Toledos, East Carolinas, how are they going to compete with your Michigans, Ohio States, big schools? You see what I'm saying? The big state school, and then even furthermore, to get deeper, how is, because, football down here in the South, it's pretty big.
Yes, it's huge down there. Y'all got spring ball and everything. Y'all take it very serious.
Year round, basically. But, what's going to happen to the science department? What's going to happen to the other departments in the school? You see where I'm getting at? Because it's, I'm glad these young men these athletes are getting their just due. But again, I don't think it's just going to be football. It may be all across the board, dude.
Yeah, you're right. So from the research I've been doing on this South Coast is that basketball and football are obviously generating the most money for these schools and universities, right?
Right.
Other non-revenue sports are going to suffer with this coming in. And they may be cutting some of those sports out of colleges and universities because of this.
Well, what about you find folks up north, hockey is king.
It is. It
You
is.
know,
It
and
is. It's huge up here.
and what about those East Coast schools that play the lacrosse? What
Mm,
about your soccer schools? What
yeah,
about
like
baseball?
they they'll suffer.
Yeah,
Some of those sports will suffer with this.
I know.
They will, unless they tend somehow to land some kind of television deal. Because look, the big winners in this obviously are the Big Ten and SEC when it comes down to it,
Right,
because of their huge television deals,
right,
right?
right, right,
You know,
right, right.
the Big Ten, their new TV contract could be worth like $75 million. So
Exactly.
that's a lot of money. That's a
It
lot of
is.
money, and that's what's saving them. And if you notice, that's why Texas, Oklahoma, um, UCLA, and USC, that's why they jumped over to the Big Ten and SEC. Now, hold on. Now, let me rephrase that again for some people watching, because people like to say things that you're wrong. Texas or Oklahoma went to the SEC.
Correct.
USC and UCLA went to the Big Ten. But that's why they made those moves to those conferences, because those conferences have huge television deals.
Right.
And the ACC and Big 12 combined, I mean, they distributed like what 44 million per school, ESPN, in the ACC and Big 12. So they not doing too bad over there. Not
Oh
too
no,
bad, but they ain't
no.
doing ACC Big 10 numbers though. That's what they're not
Oh
doing.
no, 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 no.
But and a lot of this is and yeah, but you're right about that. And that's something to think about. Or other departments going to close down in the schools because of this little debacle we got going on here with that.
Right.
The NCAA versus the House. Like, is what's going on with that? And the lawyers, obviously, that you could talk about the lawyers, they're going to get a lot of change the more
Yeah.
they keep dragging this out. And of course the lawyers want you to drag this out. I just don't
Oh yeah.
understand why they just don't want to go after the NFL model with this South Coast. Like,
Eh,
why
eh,
not just put that in?
well, right now they're kind of are going after the NFL, because I mean NIL and transfer portal is basically free agency.
Correct.
You
Correct.
know, and you were touching on this earlier about contracts.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked about this the other day, but if one of my kids was offered X amount of dollars from such and such university,
Mm-hmm.
I want guarantees, dude. I want it on paper. I want it signed black and white, dude. Because if you don't get that legal binding contract document guarantee, you
Right.
can get screwed.
Right.
And that's just life.
Hold up. Give me a second. Now, I'm not going to disappear. I'm going to disappear off the screen, but I ain't going nowhere, though. You'll still be able to hear me. You'll still be able to hear me. I'm still here with you. I'm still here. I ain't going nowhere. I didn't go nowhere. I'm still here, man.
But you good. But yeah, I mean, and again, Chubsy, you've, and most people, in life, like, you always, if you gonna negotiate or come to an agreement on a price on whatever,
Yeah.
you always sign on the line and you keep that agreement, because that way, you agree to buy this at this price, you get it signed, nothing can change.
Man, I've been talking about that for so long.
And I don't understand. I mean, like, again, regardless of what the university or college is wanting to pay the young man, get it in writing, dude.
You gotta get
it in writing.
You gotta get these contracts. You gotta get these binding agreements done.
Yeah, I mean, and it just as simple as you can write it on a piece of notebook paper. As long as you get everybody to sign on the line, dude.
That's it.
You can go in front of the judge and say, "Hey, this is what they said they were going to do."
Absolutely. Absolutely. And now see that's and that goes into talking about what just happened with that Jaden Rashada kid, right?
Right,
So
right.
what's some of your thoughts on that before I get up in that what's some of your thoughts on that? How you feeling about that? I know you feeling like good that
Well,
Miami dodged the bullet because y'all did.
it, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know what, as far as what was agreed upon, how it
Mhm.
was agreed upon was, do you have do you have a signed document stating you are going to get this money
I don't
or
think
not
so.
get this money?
I don't think he
Uh,
does.
and again, if you don't, it's just, well, I don't recall saying that. We don't
Right.
recall saying we're going to pay you that.
Right.
Again,
Exactly.
if a school is going to pay you, you know, Chubbs,
Exactly.
again, Chubbs, you got kids. Shad, he's got a 5-star recruit growing up.
Right.
If somebody says, okay, let's say if I'm the university,
Mm-hmm.
I say, Chubbsy, we like what your kids do. We want him to come to school here. We're
Right.
offering to pay you $2 million over 4-year installments to benefit from the services of your child.
Yeah.
What do
You
you
gotta get that you gotta get a
put it
contract.
put it
Gotta
in
get a
writing?
got to.
Put it in writing and sign it.
Well, the thing is what I'm hearing from my research, South Coast, like from what my research before I got the contract that he got is some bull crap because it says that you can back out of the contract at any moment. At any moment. So they
And
got a contract and didn't have their lawyers looking over it. And
and and
and he was
again,
just being greedy. And I did talk about that at first before I actually even knew all what I know now in the case. He was being greedy. He was shopping his kid around, trying to get a paycheck off his kid, and he jumped into a wrong situation. I don't think that they have a chance to win, and it's unfortunate because he blew the whistle on this, and I do believe that there are a lot of players out there that needs help in this
right,
particular situation because
right,
they're not getting paid. I do think that there's other players, and unfortunately now it's going to be 10 times harder because you got somebody coming out who was the wrong person to come out and do it.
right.
You know?
Because these universities, they're gonna, it's just like management, if I can be so bold to speak.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm just an everyday worker like you, man. But the universities is kind of like management. They're gonna screw you, bro.
Yeah.
They're gonna get what they can
Hmm.
without, you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
But
Got to.
again, if
Yeah.
you have that contract and you read the contract. Now again, I go back to my example. If if University X wants to pay Baby Chub Z X amount of dollars, say $2 million, if Daddy Chub Z wants to get paid, you better call. I'm sure you'll have some kind of legal advice to look over that contract so you and or your kid don't get screwed over.
That's a fact. Now this is a true story. Now, whether people out there believe me or not, this is a truth. This is truth. This is mine. I don't really put my business out there, but this is true. My son that makes beats, he's a producer, he's a rap artist. He does a lot. He's in the underground rap scene up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania right now. He's
Cool,
really good what he does.
cool.
Makes a lot of beats. All my beats on the show is he made them.
No
Now,
shit.
he had a record deal from some company that I've never heard of, but they were connected to Atlantic.
Oh,
Now, this happens all the time. And mind you, a lot of these major labels are going bankrupt. They're cutting a lot of people out of department A&Rs, whatever
mm-hmm.
else. They're cutting a lot of that stuff out because of the digital way of media. Mind
Right.
you, this contract for $500,000,
Mm-hmm.
he's excited. Dad,
Right.
I got $500,000. I'm like, hold up. Uh, Let me
Yep.
see the contract.
Right.
Okay. Okay, the contract looks legit. 7 pages. Da 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 da. Okay. Read through. Now, have a lawyer look at this.
Right.
Have somebody that's in that department look at this. It wasn't right.
Hmm.
It wasn't right.
Mm-hmm.
See, they was looking to rob Peter to pay Paul.
Right.
So I'm gonna
Right.
take this
Right.
new hot underground rap artist producer. I'm gonna get his music, get his beats, make him sign all his author, his authoring and his publishing, his producing, all to me. Use his songs so that
Mm-hmm.
I'm just using them for example, so that Drake
Right.
can use the songs and beats.
Right.
Make all this money off of him. He's doing this, but meanwhile, this label is paying this label to pay this label that pays Atlantic. And now it would have
Yep.
been it was a very very bad deal. Now this goes on all the time and with the music, but I
Right.
just wanted to
Oh yeah.
just talk about that situation real quick and just say that
Exactly.
even
Exactly.
though I didn't got that type of money laying around, you know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Never seen a check
Mm-hmm.
for that big. But
Right.
still, I knew what the right thing to do. Like, hold up, like let's not get
Yep.
too happy on that. Let's see what's going on with this money. Because if there's really, you know what I mean? If somebody's offering you that kind of money, you worth that
Mm.
yourself, first of all. You could
Right.
probably get up and get it yourself. But
Right.
things like that happen, man. And it
All
was
day.
just, and he was greedy and it's unfortunate that that happened to Rashada. But man, yeah, man, on
Yeah.
this in closing on this whole, situation, they just I know Shaq gonna be like, bro, shut up about the contract. But bring in, it's about time, man. It's about time they bring it in. It's already here, bro. Um, they're just dragging their feet on it. They dragging their feet on it. And I was hoping that the universities and the schools would do this on their own without the NCAA stepping in. But now the NCAA stepping in now, now they're gonna have something to say about the contracts. Now, who's to say that the NCAA won't say we have agents, we have financial advisors. Y'all have to use our agents and financial advisors that we place at your school in order to do the contracts now.
Exactly. Exactly.
And they could have just handled all that themselves because they got
Yep.
attorneys. Like, let's not sit here and act like these major universities don't have,
Right.
legal teams and whatever else they need. They probably got a
Right.
judge. You know what I mean? Like, let's just be
Exactly.
honest. Like,
Exactly. Oh
and
yeah. I mean, well, the NCAA. I mean, again, the NCAA is a business,
right.
and a business. They want a return investment, and basically, I think this money that they're given is kind of an investment, and they, just like you said, hey, we're going to charge a X amount percent
Yes.
handling fee on all whatever. I mean, they're going to get their money back. I mean, they're not going to just give money away and go bankrupt. They're going to get money.
Oh yeah, they got to get their money back somehow, and that goes into talking about what I was talking about in the video I did yesterday. Or are they going to charge the players for their
Oh yeah,
sweatsuits now, or their helmets, their
don't be
cleats? I don't know.
surprised.
I don't know if they will.
Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised.
Or
Because all that stuff all that stuff you got on scholarship, well, we're going to have to take, we'll give you $2 million, but we're going to have to take out this, and this for that, and that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. You're
and
right
then,
about it.
Then, here comes Mr. Taxman.
On top of
that, I mean, so, and again, that's just real life, dude. That's just real life.
Taxman, but now all of a sudden, here you can use our tax lawyer. He only takes such and such percent.
So be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, man.
And again, I'm not trying to be. Don't misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm not saying the kids shouldn't get paid, but with that comes the adult responsibilities. Oh yes, exactly.
A whole hell of a
And
lot
then
of it.
who's to say? I know I'm going down the rabbit hole, and you got to go get some ice cream with the kids, but who's to say the university doesn't try to charge them for health care?
Oh man. Oh, they will. Oh, they will. They got the packages.
But
How they charge? How they charge us working folk? How how
who
how they
what
how
you
they
say?
bring Affleck to the job and say, "Oh
Man,
yeah, you could get this and you could get this deal and get that deal." Oh yeah, they're giving the company the owner of the company the big deal because all his employees are signing up for that. But we
right,
don't get
right.
one. We still got
Yeah.
to pay that. What is it? What you paying? $1,000 deductible? I got a family,
Don't.
so
Oh, bro, look.
so that's coming out of and they come
Yeah.
out to check every week. Oh man,
Yes.
so they're gonna hit us with the season. Are they gonna hit us with season tickets? Are they gonna hit us with the
Oh yeah.
travel? Because we
Oh
already pay
yes.
for travel expenses.
Oh
Are
yes.
they're gonna hit us on the merch, the park, and the
Oh
concession?
yes. Yes. It's kind of
Ooh.
like Coach Hayes had talked about, it's $36 for a beer and a hot dog. Dude, it's about to go up, bruh.
And I mean, we
You
already
know,
look at and then when we can't make
yes.
it to the game live, the cable
Right.
packages we paying for is
Oh,
outrageous.
man, don't hey, Cuban Damas, what's up?
What's
I
going
mean,
on?
who's to say again, like I know a lot of us will watch it on the ESPN Plus and all that stuff, but who's to say ESPN doesn't resort back to the old days with the game plan packages like NFL?
Who you telling? Who
I
you
mean,
telling?
dude,
Game
I'm
plan
telling you, bro,
packages. And we need Fubu.
it,
We need Fubo to watch
you
the
know,
the opener. Then we need Peacock to watch this one. Then we need
exactly,
man,
exactly.
they
And,
just
and,
hitting
and
us all over the place.
I mean, everything, even that, say that I think they're like what $120 college jersey, dude. Now you're paying like 175, bruh.
And that's for the lick 'em stick 'em.
Mm,
That ain't even for the authentic soda on. You know?
exactly,
You know?
exactly.
Man,
It's going to be. I mean, and again, I'm not trying to say that, but I mean the possibilities exist. The potential is there
yes, it's there. They have
because
to, yes.
people have to recoup that money.
Yes, and they have to pay players, but it is a fact that there's going to be athletic departments are going to get shorter because they're going to have to act as the GMs. I
Right.
even came up with like a type of model for that to happen in college, but they're just simply going to have to adopt the NFL way of doing things. It's
Exactly.
successful, it works.
Exactly.
It's the easiest, simplest way for, let's just say, organized chaos. And they're
Right.
just dragging it along. And then
Right.
the longer they drag it along, I mean, like I said, once again, the lawyers are happy because they just gonna keep charging them fees.
Oh yeah. And again, like I said earlier, we're talking football, but again, you still got all the other sports.
Right, right.
So
Right, that may be non-existent, but when I thought about that too, though, like so, golf, you have to be sponsored with golf, right? That's a pretty big deal, right? But not a
yeah.
lot of people watch college golf. Like a lot of people don't know that a
Right.
lot of colleges are in season right now with
Yeah.
golf. You know,
Exactly.
a lot of people watch that stuff, but I think it should be televised and stuff. I mean, I guess it is, isn't it? It's televised, but it's always on like the school's network and not like
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, and then like the tennis and stuff, but who's to say you don't have like I know we're going down the rabbit hole, but we're still falling. But you know how you have NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB.
Right.
Who's to say that you don't have certain football schools, basketball schools, baseball schools? You see where I'm getting at?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I see where
again,
you're
I'm
getting at.
just thought. I mean, I've only had like one cup of margarita, so I ain't really that crazy just yet. But I mean, it's thoughts. You got to think about that.
Right. You got
But
something you
anyway,
want to add, Cuban?
What was
hello,
the
Cuban.
What's up, Jordan? What was the topic?
Well, the House versus the NCAA. We kind of haven't gotten off this. I'm supposed to be cutting this short and
I
haven't.
know
I'm
that's my
supposed to be
bad. Hey,
cutting
look,
this
I'm gonna
short
tell
and
you.
just
You
kind
know
of
me. I'm
haven't.
not gonna shut up. I'm gonna just keep talking. So you
It
guys say, "Hey,
has.
bro, you gotta stop. This is
It,
my show. This ain't your show. It's my show. Shut up.
Look, I like conversation. I like having conversation. It's the fans' point of view, man. This is the fans' point of view. This
Well,
is why
it's
this is here. This is why that platform's here, just because of that. But
well,
the House versus the NCAA, we just got to talking about how, with a lot of this coming in with the revenue sharing and all of that, that other non-competitive what I'm sorry, non-revenue sports are going to get cut out, and that's going to happen. This going to happen because they have to pay the players now with a lot of this money. And but are they going to raise concession prices? Are they going to do that, parking, etc.? Are they going to close down other departments in school because they have to pay the players? Like, will this happen to some of the smaller colleges and universities around the US, things of that sort?
yeah. So this is I'm not trying to bring this to a hurricanes thing, but this is something that I brought up a while ago. Well, this is not just a hurricane issue. This is a everybody issue.
Mhm.
What college coach is really going to want to coach college? It's getting too complex, right? We on sad show on Joint show we bring up the college football game, right? And now it's like the schools are getting it's just getting too complicated, right? If I'm a coach of college basketball, college football, I'm like, I don't want to deal with this. This is just too much. I'm for the players getting paid. I am for all of that, but it's just too confusing. And it's like there now you have to manage in football, you have to manage 90 something personalities, 90 something personalities, 180 parents because I multiply times two, right? So it's like,
Mhm.
man, this is just a lot to deal with. This is it's a right move, but the NCAA is doing a horrible job because with everything. If you look at professional sports, there is structure there. There is a commissioner. There's somebody there setting the rules. There is
Mhm.
no rules in college sports right now, and it's just going to hurt the game. Like obviously I'm a huge Hurricane fan. It is hurting our Hurricanes because we're using a lot of players from the portal, paying players, things of that nature, and it's like the college football that we grew up in, the college basketball we grew up in doesn't
Mhm.
exist anymore. So
Right.
this is like a new sport. I don't recognize it. I don't like it, you know. Um, but somebody has to take over control. I I
And see,
would
this is
say
the
like a Nick Saban should, Nick Saban type of person that has dealt. Even though I don't like Nick Saban, but he's the one that knows the ins and outs of it.
Mhm.
Somebody like that needs to take over the NCAA and sports because this is not a I don't think this is a good model to generate money for schools because you were starting to
Mhm.
go in into our schools gonna have to cut down
Mhm.
teachers, so on and so forth. But there's Title IX, right? Title IX means you got to have women's sports, right? You got a certain percentage need to go to women's sports. So I don't know how this is going to work. I don't. I blame this on ESPN and Fox for doing these dumb deals, right?
Mhm.
And obviously the NCAA, but man, this is not good for the sport that we grew up on. It's
Now
one of those
look.
things. It's one of those things. It's like we all have to adapt, right? There's things in culture that I don't like that are happening now, but society is making you adapt, right? But
Mhm.
this might be one of these things that, hey, this is I hate saying it, but yeah, this is the new college sports now.
Yeah, and I feel like they look. Could this be a self sabotage type of deal too, though? Like, you know what I mean? Because if you look at it, right, the NCAA, they already, and during in this agreement, a lot of people are overlooking in this agreement. They are making sure for the next at least decade that the NCAA tournament will be played under the NCAA. That they have the rights to that tournament. because they don't want to be cut out because they know that schools can get away from that, right? So, but could this be a self-sabotage technique to the point where they're like, let all this chaos go on. Let's not organize the chaos just yet. They're dragging it out till January. They were supposed to be done with this yesterday and just settle that. But and they just couldn't just use those simple words. They without even saying it, admit that they were paying players, that this been going on. They've been paying players for their talent, and let's just go straight to collective bargaining. Let's get somebody together. There's more to, there's people out there willing to get us set up this, like the NFLPA, whatever association, like they're willing to do this for college, and let's get the contracts together. Just model straight after the NFL, but they did not want to admit in court, not yesterday at least, that this was going on. So now you just have chaos and it's just spreading and it has no end, like how you said. And this is why fans like yourself do not like the sport anymore, because of that, and in the way that it's going, because they don't want to organize the chaos. It's still going to be crazy because it's college you're dealing with anyway,
Right.
but at least organize the chaos. Less
You know,
just simple, and it's just simple with that. But just how Shad was saying the last time we talked about contracts, the schools are to the NCAA. They left it up to the schools. Like, okay, since you want this on there, put it on there. Let's go. If you want contracts, y'all go ahead and y'all do that. But the schools do not want to go down that route. And this is the same thing that happened when Mark Emmert, the president that retired last year in March, was trying to say all he wanted to do was give the players the players $2,000, just not even that, just give them a cost and attendance stipend. It was just going to be giving them a percentage of the money that was made for ticket sales for that particular game. You know what I mean? And that's all he was trying to do then. Mark Emmert was. But then all the major schools pushed back and said, oh, no, we don't want to do that. We don't want to give them no money. We don't want to let them do no money.
Well,
And
you
now,
know why? You know who didn't want to give them. It's all right. I'm not trying to get racist here, but it's, white money doesn't want to give black players money. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, look, we got to keep it 100 here. That's what we do. If anything, if it not anything else, we're going to keep it real here. If
Yeah.
not
So
oh yeah,
anything else.
yeah, it's that's what it ultimately happens. The NCAA could have fixed this a long time ago and
Yeah.
said, "Hey, we're going to pay players $100,000 or $50,000 a
Yeah.
year
right, right.
and call it a day." But what's going to happen now?
Mm-hmm.
That's why they call me Cuba. What's going to happen now is scholarships are not going to be given out anymore. You're going to
No
No.
have to, it's like
contracts.
if we're going to pay for if we got to pay the players, we'll pay them, but we're not giving them a scholarship. Because example, the University of Miami, it's 92K to go per
Yeah,
semester go
yeah.
University of Miami, right?
Right,
And
right,
it's like you mean to
right,
tell me as
right,
a school I'm got to pay $92,000, and now I got to give this player a salary that he might not
right,
even play a down at my school. Come on, man. It,
right,
it
right.
makes it makes no financial sense to do
No,
some of these things.
And
no.
that's what I
And
was
you know
saying.
what? One other thing. I mean, we're concentrating on Division One.
Yeah.
What about two, three, double A? You see
They're
what I'm
gonna
saying? I
they're
mean,
gonna close
it's
down. JUCOs
man.
are in trouble.
Look,
There might not even be
yeah,
JUCO ball no more.
there won't be any more Last Chance U on Netflix.
No.
You know,
No.
things may get tough in Scooby, Mississippi. You
Yeah.
know, I'm
School.
just saying, and then that's
For
just
real.
football. Again,
Yeah.
look at all the sports. I'm just saying.
Yeah. You're right, man. And that's just because they did not want to do that. And they dragged it out. They went against that. Then just to think of how easy that would have been if players were getting $2,000 per game right now for just there nobody would be complaining. Nobody would be complaining. Nobody be talking about NIL. Nobody be talking
Right,
about collectives or
right.
contracts. None of that would be happening. Mark Emmert literally, try, and I'm gonna keep mentioning that name a lot because he tried to get ahead of this show. He really did. Like
No, he
I
did
advise
not.
y'all
No,
to
no, he did not.
he
He
did though.
he could
I
have
was
How could you say that though, Cuban?
because he
I
could
was
have played. Go ahead, Jordan.
I was just gonna say Emirates. He's not a very. He could do better. He kind of strikes me as a. I mean, of course, I have with Miami and Nevin and all that
Now,
BS that the NCAA
mhm,
went through, but you know,
he
Emirates a joke.
hey, look, I'm not gonna
Even
lie.
when he was the president down here at LSU, he
He
it. It's
back
just
when he
my opinion.
first came in. No, 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 you're right. Yeah, I
You know,
agree. Now I don't agree with everything he did. Now
right?
this is the only thing I can agree with when he first came in 2010. When that's when he first came in. Correct me, correct?
I
He
believe.
definitely tried to implement that then because he knew that there was going to be a day where it was going to be coming down to this. Now, the things he did later on, I don't agree with. I don't agree with a lot of things he did. Now, when we're talking this particular thing, like how he tried to save this from happening to to the college sports in general, like he was on point about this particular topic. Now, all the other stuff, I don't agree with, and I agree with y'all. He
But
was a piece of shit for the most part. Let's
Chubb,
talk about it.
I gotta disagree with you because he had the opportunity to say, "Hey, schools, $50,000, $25,000 for the players, and
Right.
call it a day."
But
That
he
and
Exactly.
pushed back.
that would have solved a whole bunch of
He
issues.
pushed back on them so hard, saying that they didn't want it though.
No, he never offered a salary. He never offered a salary. I mean, hell, he was in charge of putting programs in probation, Miami,
Yep.
USC,
Yep. Yep.
Florida State,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
Yep.
he wasn't part of wanting money, right? It's this is
How?
I love this, huh?
I mean, well, I'm gonna let you finish on what you're doing because I just researched this yesterday when I made the video, and I said he tried to avoid this, and that was the topic of it because he was literally it was literally I believe it was a $2,000. They called it like a type of stipend or something like that, a cost of attendance stipend.
Yeah,
He tried to
that
get that
$2,000
through.
ain't working, right? Like I said, a $50,000 to $100,000 would have shut everybody up and would have been good to go. And he should have, his. This is the thing. You're the president of the
Hmm.
NCAA, right? You need to set down the rules. Like, hey, you got to tell the schools if we don't do this $50,000 to $100,000, we're going to face this thing called NIL. You got to have forward thinking. You got to think of forward a little bit, right? And by him not paying, not having salary players like any other
Hmm.
work environment is, now we're in this situation. Now you
Right.
kind of killed sports, college sports, right?
Hmm.
And this could have easily been solved if he just would have said, "Hey, we're going to pay these players and call it a day." But he didn't want to do that, And I'm sorry, it's just I don't want to. Certain portions of this country doesn't want to see a certain other portion of this country have money, right?
I get that. I get that.
And he's from Indiana. If you
I get
Oh
know
that.
Lord.
anything about Indiana, you know what
Hmm.
happened.
Yeah,
What was born and raised in Indiana.
Indiana is very Indiana's a racist place to be.
If
I'm
you know
not gonna
anything
lie.
about Indiana, you should know what was born and raised in Indiana,
Like
right?
a lot of people high five and give Roger Goodell hugs. You know where Roger Goodell's from?
Yeah, but they're making money there. That's a whole different
Jamestown,
story.
New York. In
Yeah.
Jamestown, New York, that's all that's about. I've been there. I lived up that part. I know all about Jamestown, New York, them back roads of 86. Roger
Hmm.
Goodell. Don't do nothing for that town. Don't do nothing for that town to sell around New York. He grew up in. You go
Hmm.
up there, you gonna find out a whole lot about racism, and you know a
Hmm.
lot about Roger Goodell and the Goodell
Hmm.
family that's up there. So even though you can make all the money you want to, but they high five and they hug somebody like that all the time.
And
I
then he's
say
quick to
that,
suspend them in 2 seconds. I completely agree with you.
but
You know, but but
uh,
with, but going back to his college, I have to blame. Ultimately, I have to blame ESPN, right?
I
Oh
get
yes.
yeah,
Yes.
The
Yes.
yeah,
reason why I
because they
blame
want to lose.
ESPN, they saw Miami and USC take over, right?
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
And the SEC was a floundering conference. I don't care what anybody tells me. It was the power schools back in the early 2000s were Miami, USC, Florida State.
Yep.
They
Yep.
were the power schools.
Yep.
Then
Hmm.
all of a sudden, ESPN bought the SEC's TV deals. So
Mm.
all of a sudden, the SEC started to be a power conference is because they had more money. right? They didn't want to see the dominance of a USC, things of that nature. And then
Right.
once that happened, they kind of killed the sport because it's like anything that USC, Miami, and Florida State would do, they will get out, they will get in trouble, right?
Mm,
Well,
So
that SEC is the good old boy conference, if you know what I mean.
yeah,
mm-hmm.
but it was that damn deal that ESPN did with
Yep.
the SEC, right?
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
it's that to me that deal killed college sports, right? It's like
Mm-hmm.
you guys monopolize it because all of a sudden now all these SEC schools are building these mega stadiums, these mega facilities, and all these other schools can't compete, right? But
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
it's sad what's happening in college sports, man. It's
It is,
not
man. It is. It
it's
really
not
is, man.
it's
It really is.
and I don't know if you just started talking about it, but what was
Nah.
happening to Shiloh, right? It's like that's going to happen more often, people.
Yeah. Exactly.
I know you're a Bucks
I can't.
fan,
I've been brought up. I've been brought up that whole silo thing, man. I deleted the videos and everything because I got to really thinking about how it may affect Shiloh in this kind of way. You know what I'm saying? I deleted the videos, but I've been had mentioned that like a couple weeks back. It's just something how people only pay attention to things uh let's when white media pick it up, let's talk about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I've been had put that up, but I've been knew about that whole situation. But I got to thinking about Shiloh in this situation. I think that Shiloh was wronged in that situation with the whole bankruptcy thing. When you really go back and you look at the story, like his dad had custody of him at the time where he was only 15, 16 years old, and he wasn't trying to let him go back and live with his mom. Now, a 15, 16-year-old young man, like, you still want to be with your mom, especially when dad is cracking down on you really, really hard, making you go to all
Right.
kinds of private schools and want you to cut your braids out your hair and whatever else was going on with him and his father at that time is between them. And that's not for
Right.
me to speculate on, but he got in that fight with that security guard. And when that case came up, um, and the security guard wound up, defecating on himself, urinating on himself. Yeah, Shiloh really, he hit a nerve on him or something. I don't know what he did, but he was young at the time. And his mom, Dion, and Shiloh were all both put on the case for this money because this man, he's disabled for life. And somehow Dion and the mom got dismissed. Somehow the lawyer for the guy, he quit before the day before the ruling. Dion gets out of the case and the case gets stuck on his son. So that was my angle.
Yikes.
That was my angle. Why would you stick your son with a $11.85 million debt? Why would you do that to your son? And we talking about the character of a coach of a D1 school and how the character of a Kermani McLean was attacked coming from there. And y'all want to talk about character, but nobody wants to talk about the character there. See, nobody want to talk about that. Not until other media start picking that up. But that's dirty. You don't do your son like that. I can't.
No.
He's
No.
only 15, 16 years
Right.
old.
Right. Right. Right.
Well, I don't like Dion, man. I mean, again, this come from a King's perspective, but what he did to Mark Pope on that TV show, I'm like, man, you are a grown ass man. What did he do? Sleep with your wife? Sleep with your, had threesome with your wife, daughters, and something like that? Like, what did he do for you to treat him
I don't know.
such you're a grown man? Why you teach? I'm sorry if the Buff fans are listening to this. I know they love Dion, but I'm like, he is not a good dude, man. He
Nah.
doesn't treat players like I could only imagine what Cromani really went through,
You want
right? And it's like, and I know
that's
he's
on a
not
player.
I know he's not the perfect kid, and he does kid things,
Exactly.
but the immaturity that Deion Sanders has, it's horrible, man. It's to again, Buff fans, if you get mad, this is Cuban Kane, not Chubb, not Truck and Chubb saying this. But
Man, it
Deion
don't,
Sanders is one of the biggest hypocrites I know. And I'm gonna
man.
tell you
Period.
why. Let me tell
Period.
you why. Because when he was at Florida State, he wore the number 2, right? Back then, no cornerbacks or receivers are wearing single digit numbers, right?
Right, right,
So
right,
he's allowed to wear a single digit number, but a defensive lineman is not allowed to wear number 0 or a single digit
right,
number. Like,
right.
come on, man, stop. It's. I know it's all about you. You make a lot of money, but stop being a hypocrite, bro.
Yeah.
You were rocking chains. Talking about NI, you were rocking chains and having money at Florida State, but you don't want these kids out to only your kids to have money. Like, come on, man. Like,
You know what time it is over there, but see, look, as long as they winning, it don't matter.
they're
Cause
not
Rick
winning.
George, cause let him play monkey. He know what he doing. Rick George got him up there just to make money. It don't matter if Dion went up there. We talk about that too up here. It don't even matter if he win. It's sad because he's up there just to make Colorado relevant and to make Colorado money. Like they're going if another losing season still comes up out of there, nobody's gonna care about that. They're still going to talk about how sold out the stadium is and how everything else is going on up there and everything. And they're gonna find it really don't matter with that. And but it's crazy. But I do want to mention. I did want to mention that, and because they talk about character. He talks about that a lot, but you got to be able to face your demons too. And I mean, like, there's so much stuff that you can mention on that man. Like the lady that was a realtor in Texas. You just pull up Texas, you Google his name in Texas, all the stuff pops up. I mean, it's out there. It's just like okay. But I guess it's hating, but it's not hating and it's not defamation of character. If I'm saying it out my mouth and Deion Sanders cannot sue me for it, then it's facts, correct? It's not defamation. Isn't that right, fellas?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's funny because I think the Miami and Colorado fan base are like twins.
Oh man.
We
Yeah,
are
yeah.
our fan bases are a bunch of fan of man instead of fan of the program. And
Right,
I'm
right,
sorry, I'm a
right,
grown
right.
man. I
Yeah.
love Joe. I love you, Joe, and I love you, Chubbs. But I am not. I'm not gonna be like super groupie over you guys, right? And
Right,
I'm a
right,
fan
No.
of this show, of your show,
right,
but I
right.
am not gonna be like, oh, these guys are no. I'm a fan of you guys' show. What I'm saying, it's like I'm not a fan of man. And a lot of Miami and Colorado, Buff fans are the same fans, man. It's like, it's, to
Yep.
me, it's disgusting as hearing all these grown men fawn over Mario Cristobal and Deion Sanders. I'm like, man, be a fan of the damn program, not the
Mm-hmm.
damn coach.
Mm-hmm.
So sorry to go on a little rant there.
No, it's all good, man. We gotta keep it real here. This is the fans' point of view. I want a real authentic show. Everybody wants you to be real and authentic until it's time to be that. That's just like everybody say, support black-owned businesses up until it's time to support one, huh?
No,
Well,
then
I would,
go root for UCLA. Go root for every single black coach out there, just not one black coach. There's a lot of
you
Right,
know,
right. That's
go
a
to
fact.
go root for
That's
Penn
a fact.
State.
That's a fact.
He's
That's a
he's
fact.
married with a black woman and has two black
That's
babies,
a
and
fact.
he hasn't got he's the
That's a
example
fact.
of what you're to be as a black man. Go root for Syracuse,
That's a
right?
fact.
But why it got to be Dion?
yeah,
Don't give me the support
Yeah, my
black
mom.
coaches, because it's like you support your selected black coaches.
Yeah,
right,
you're
right.
right. They with
Hey,
there. It's about money. We always been able to be bought out
always,
about money. You could
always.
always about money. And people, like I said, people could talk what they want to talk out the end of the day. And I'm gonna close the show with this one, man. People always talk about a lot what they wouldn't do and what they wouldn't do. I guarantee you, people would put on a fucking monkey suit and go ooh ooh around the whole damn mall. If somebody said, "I give you $1 million, you put this monkey suit on and you go do this," they'll do
I would. You want a orangutan, chimpanzee, or gorilla, buddy? Be
I'm
like
just
playing the
saying.
apes up in here.
I'm just saying, like
You're
it's
right.
just
Yeah,
they'd do anything.
yeah,
People
yeah.
do anything with it, but and that's why they do it, man. Because it's all about money over there, and that's why I had to distance myself from that. But see, that made me that angered me, man. That hit a nerve in me though when I found that out, but I had to take that. Like I said, I took it down because I didn't want it to affect Shiloh in this way. You know what I
Right.
mean? The way that On3 is trying to do it, I didn't want it to affect Shiloh. Like my angle on that was coming at him as a father myself. Like, how could you
Mhm.
do this to your son?
Right.
How,
Exactly.
Dion? Let's talk about it. How you gonna stick
Right.
your son with a bill like that?
I know.
Now, and that's the truth. It's the truth, though. People could talk about how old it is or not, but every state that Shiloh goes in, he has to file Chapter 7 bankruptcy. And now his NIL isn't a question. Every dollar he got now, he gonna be under investigation. And think about how that's about to affect Shiloh for the NFL now.
Hmm.
We're gonna talk about it though, y'all. Like, it's crazy, man. I appreciate y'all coming through, man, kicking it with me, man. But I do. I appreciate y'all coming through, kicking it with me. I hope y'all jump on some more with me, man. I enjoyed y'all company tonight, man. Everybody, make sure I hit that like button. Catch us on a replay whenever, man. Share the video. Appreciate it, y'all. Y'all know how we giving it up here. We out. Peace.
Want to see Truck and Chubby live and co-host Shed? Tune in at Fans Point of View, Saturday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time. But in the meantime, in between time, enjoy the content. Don't forget to hit your notification bell for all updates. Thank you for watching.